Hello dear students, I am Dr. Pagar, Associate Professor, Department of Geography. Dear student, I welcome all of you in this online lecture series on behalf of Maratha Vidya Prasar Samajas, Charity Arts, BH Commerce and AM Science, popularly known as KTHM College Nasik. Dear student, this is our S.Y.B.Sc class, semester 3rd, Geography paper 1st, that is Environmental Geography part 1st. Dear student, this is our lecture number 29 of this subject, and in this lecture we are going to discuss our third chapter, that is environmental problem, global issue and India's major problem. And in this chapter today we have a discussion point, that is subtopic for discussion, that is noise pollution part 1st. Dear student, in previous lecture we have discussed about the effects of air pollution and the measures to control the air pollution. For today's discussion, we have a study objective, that is to discuss the definition and the causes or the sources of the noise pollution. Dear student, you know that noise pollution is also known as the environmental noise or the sound pollution. The noise pollution is similarly unsafe just like the other pollution like water, air and soil. Noise is the unpleasant and undesirable sound which leads to discomfort to human beings. Noise is measured in decibel. Means what? Decibel is the unit that we use for the measure the intensity of the noise. In short, it is also called as dB. Dear student, a sound more than 85 dB is said to be a damaging level of sound that over the time can causing the hearing loss. It means what? When the intensity of the sound is increased more than 85 dB or decibel, then it is not good for the human being and other biotic factor that are present on the surface also. Therefore, it is very important. If it is more than 85 dB, then yes, this is very harmful for the human being and the other living thing also. Dear student, noise pollution is a problem faced all over the world. So first, let us discuss with the definition of the noise pollution. The first very simple definition is any disturbing or unwanted noise that interferes or harms humans or the wildlife is known as the noise pollution. Means what? Because when the limit or the intensity of the noise is increased more than 85 decibel, that time, yes, it is a very harmful for human being and other wildlife also. It also includes the animals and birds. Then it is called as the noise pollution. Second definition is also very important. Noise is a sound which is disagreeable for the individual and which disturb the normal way of the individual. Means what? As an individual level, we are not able to tolerance the intensity of the noise, intensity of the sound, then it is called as noise pollution. Third definition is also very important. Noise pollution can be defined as the dumping or the releasing noise into the atmosphere, making adverse effect over the plants, animal, yes, including the human being also. It means what? When the limit of the noise or the sound is more than 85 or the normal limit, then yes, it affect the adverse effect, it affect the adversely or the negatively on the plants, animal, birds and human being also. Then it is called as the noise pollution. Again, one short definition is there. Noise pollution is when the level of the noise increase more than the normal limit. Yes, normal limit means I just mentioned that 85 decibel. Then when the amount of noise exceed, it become a dangerous for living beings. Means all the biotic factor that are present on the surface, they are not able to tolerate this limit. Then it is called as noise pollution. Dear student, now let us discuss about the sources or the causes of the noise pollution. All the causes of the noise pollution we can classify into the two categories. That is, first is natural sources or the natural causes, and second is man-made sources or the man-made causes. Natural sources For example, we have heavy rains, then we have the stormy winds, then lighting of the clouds, birds and animals, I mean sound of birds and animals, earthquake and the volcanoes, and the other natural sources, maybe like a sea waves that we have present on the seashore, that also include here, and other also that we discuss in detail after this classification. Then also the man-made sources again or the further can be divided into the two groups. The first is indoor sources and second is outdoor sources. Indoor sources include the especially kitchen, appliance, whereas outdoor sources include industries, transportation, urbanization, agriculture equipments, social event, and other man-made sources, maybe the mining, power generator, construction activity, social, or maybe the various festival, space activity, that all things are man-made and they are responsible for the noise pollution. So let us discuss one by one. First, we are going to discuss about the natural sources of the noise pollution. Dear student, now these are the natural things. We don't have any control. But these natural processes are also responsible for the noise pollution. The first is heavy rains. Dear student, the heavy rains or the rainfall makes noise, which is seasonal and the cause impact for the short time. Especially in the rainy season, we observe this type of the process. When the rain is raining, that time it being a very sound, and that sound, it produces the sound, that sound is responsible for the noise pollution. The second natural cause is winds, thunderstorm and cyclone. All these are belong from the same category. When these events are occurrence in the atmosphere, that time it also, actually these are the occasional, but sometimes are very damaging and they are responsible for the noise pollution. Then third one is that is lighting of the clouds. It creates the intense sound, which is a natural cause of the noise pollution. Especially we have this type of the reason, or this has the causes, sources we observe during the rainy season, especially when the very stormy winds are blow, that time on the heavy rains are blow. During the cyclone period, we observe this type of the cause that are responsible for the for the noise pollution. Dear student, then again one very important natural sources of the noise pollution is birds and the sound of birds and animal. Yes, the birds are singing and also the chirping everywhere all the time, and that reason, that cause is also responsible for the noise pollution. Dear student, even the animal or the pets live on the nearby human home and farms make the severe noise, and that noise is also responsible or the create the noise pollution around us. So dear student, this was about the natural sources. Again, there are also few other natural sources. For example, we have earthquake and the volcano or the occasional activity, that event that also responsible for much loud sound, for that is responsible or that create the noise pollution around us. Actually, these things are not too much observed everywhere, but especially in Japan or some part of the Pacific Ocean, we have this type of activity where this activity, I mean earthquake and volcano, are responsible for create the noise pollution. And last one, that is the waves on the seashore produce the intense noise on the shoreline. Therefore, these are all the major natural sources or the causes that are responsible for the noise pollution. Dear student, now let us discuss about the man-made sources. Yes, the man-made sources, I already explained that these sources we can divide it into the two categories. The first is indoor sources or the indoor causes. It includes the kitchen appliance which are producing intense noise. For example, it includes the electrical mixer, vacuum cleaner, fridge, air conditioner, the grinder, pressure cooker, washing machine, and so on. These are the very common things we usually use in our daily lives, in our kitchen. And yes, when we use these all things, that time it produces the noise, and that noise also responsible for the noise pollution. Dear student, now again, the noise produced at the home inside house from electrical and electronic appliance daily use in the house. Basically, I am talking about the washing machine or the different type of the electrical gadget we using in our daily lives, in our kitchen, and that things also responsible for producing the noise. And when we produce the noise more than normal limit, I just mentioned that if it is more than 85 decibel, then it creates the pollution, I mean noise pollution. So these are the two major reasons that are responsible for inside noise pollution. Dear student, another thing, the contribution of this household instrument might be minor but create considerable noise in the home. Everywhere, all part of the world, you will find this is the very common reason, very common cause that are responsible for the noise pollution. Dear student, then we have outdoor sources or the causes of the noise pollution. Dear student, these are the major sources that are largely responsible or cause for the noise pollution all part of the world. Let us discuss one by one. The first is industries. Yes, the industries, the various type of sounds like vibrating, crushing sound, etc. are produced from the industrial unit. Especially, you know that everywhere, each and every industry, there we have some machinery, and when we run this machinery, that time it creates the various type of the sound, and that sound really main source of the noise pollution that throughout the world. Especially in the advanced country, in the industrial region, we will find this type of the sound. Especially if you see that the textile industry or the painting industry, sugar mill, or various industry. In that industry, it is a very common use of the various machinery. And when we use this machinery, that time this machinery are make a very intense sound, and that sound is responsible for the noise pollution. Second is mining. Yes, the mining carried out advanced machinery produce the noise. It means what? When we use the very advanced machinery for mining purpose, that time when we run this machinery, when we use this machinery, that time it produces the very intense noise. It also includes the blasting by detection, drilling, hammering, and the crushing. These all are the process. In this process, that machinery create the sound, and that sound is responsible, or that noise is responsible for the noise pollution. Then we have the transportation. Yes, this is a very important sector that are major source of the noise pollution, especially road transportation, railway transportation, air transportation, water transport. All these things are the main modes of the transportation increase level of noise pollution. Especially, you know that if you see any bus stand or the railway station or airport around this region, if you see that, you will listen, if you there, definitely you will listen repeatedly the sound of various vehicles that are we use for the transportation purpose. Especially when we have very close to railway station, that time you will listen the sound of railway engine or the locomotive or the various horns. And yes, that announcers also creating the sound when they announce the train or the various what you can say, the various type, they announce the repeatedly time, arrival time and departure time of the various railway. That time this announcer also create the sound. Therefore, everywhere, at the bus stop, at the railway station, at the airport, everywhere you will listen this type of the sound. And therefore, the transportation is the major sector that are responsible to create the sound, noise, and that is responsible for the noise pollution. Now we have other very important source of the outdoor source of the man-made and the outdoor source, that is urbanization. Yes, dear student, urban place, you will find that the urban place are characterized by the heavy traffic, crowds, the cultural function, and so many things that are responsible for the noise pollution. If you see any metropolitan city, if you visit any metropolitan city, in case of the India, we have a Mumbai, we have a Pune, Nasik, Aurangabad, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, Indore, Bhopal, Bengaluru. So many numbers of the cities are there. Everywhere, if you visit, that you find is a common phenomenon: traffic jam, crowd, and various culture function that organize at the various occasion in the city, and that are major that create the too much noise, and that noise is responsible for the air pollution. So therefore, urbanization is very important. Due to the urbanization, the day by day, the crowd in the urban city and the suburban is increasing, and that crowd is responsible for creating, making, or the producing the noise, and that noise is responsible for the noise pollution. The next very important sector, that's agricultural equipment. Yes, in a country like India, where the agriculture is the major activity, but when we do the various operation for the agriculture purpose, that time we use the various equipment like a tractor, harvester, bulldozer, small motor, water pump, fodder cutter, workshop, sugarcane harvester, and so many things that when we use all these equipment, that time it produces the noise, and that noise is responsible for the noise pollution. Dear student, then we have other important source, that is power generator. Yes, in the industrial and the urban places, the power generators are very commonly used for power generation purpose. And when we use this power generator, that time it produces the noise, and that noise is the responsible for the noise pollution. Then we have other next very important source of the noise pollution, that is social event. Dear student, in India, this is the very important source of the noise pollution. The social events like festival, religious functions, marriage, parties, and so many traditional programs we organize in India, that are the major source of the noise pollution. Mostly loudspeakers are used commonly during this program, which produce the much noise. Dear student, in India, we have the Ganpati festival, we have Diwali festival, we have various festival. In this festival, or even the religious function, maybe what we call as the Jatra, Yatra. During this program, even the marriage function also, we have used the loudspeaker and also the band. That time it creates a lot of noise. Even though we organize some birthday parties, some functional, some social program, gathering, and so social gathering, and so many programs. So during that program, we use the loudspeaker. This is the very common in India. But when we use this type of the loudspeaker or the instrument, that time it creates the lot of sound, and yes, that sound creates the noise pollution in India. So not only in India, even the all part of the world, any type of we have the various types of social event as per their tradition and their culture. And during this program, definitely it creates the lot of intense noise, sound, and that are responsible for the noise pollution. Dear student, then in other important sector, that construction activity. Yes, in urban region, you will observe this is the very common phenomena. Everywhere you will find some construction work is on. It may be the construction of the bridge, dams, building, road, flyovers, and so many construction activity are every day going on in each and everywhere, in each and every city. And yes, during that time, even when you repair the different equipment which are too noisy, when we use all these various instruments during the construction work, that make a very intense noise, and that noise are responsible for creating, or it give the or it is a major source of the noise pollution. And last one, that is very important, space activity. Yes, student, the space activity is also responsible for the noise pollution. Dear student, when the launching of the rocket, of the supersonic planes, spaceships, and the training aircraft contribute noise pollution. Yes, in case of India, the numbers of the country in the world, they have advanced, they are very advanced in this sector. But when we launched any rocket or you can satellite, during that time it create a lot of noise, and that noise is responsible for the noise pollution. Dear student, this was about the today's lecture. In this lecture we discuss about the what do we mean by noise pollution, I mean the definition of the noise pollution, and also we discuss what are the natural source of the noise pollution and what are the man-made sources of the noise pollution. In these man-made sources, we divided these sources into two categories, that is indoor sources and the outdoor sources. So dear student, this was about today's lecture. In next lecture we are going to discuss what are the effects of the noise pollution and how we can control the intensity of the noise pollution. That we will be discussed in our next lecture. Thank you.